In this video, we are going to talk about how the poor invest versus how the rich invest. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. How do poor people invest? The stock market would hiccup if there was talk that the discount window for interest-free loans or quantitative easing would close. Investments would plummet, and a terrified market pleaded with Federal Reserve Chairman to hold off on raising interest rates because the economy was still soft. People were able to spend more as a result of this type of economic stimulus. People could buy more, bigger, and better things if they took out low-interest debt. When loans were artificially depressed, everything seemed more affordable, which is why I bought a car I couldn't afford. Moneyed people purchased and bought. And they poured money into it like crazy. Those who saved after the Great Recession were handsomely compensated. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, DJIA, has returned approximately 173% since the bottom of the crash. To put it another way, investors who bought in the middle of 2009 and early 2010 nearly doubled their capital. One of the economy's saving graces is that inflation has remained stable. Every month in 2014, the inflation rate fluctuated between 0.8 and 2.1%. And, since inflation is basically a measure of affordability, it is a significant element in this discussion. As inflation rises, the cost of all commodities rises as well. This measure has an effect on anything from bread to vehicles to houses. As a result, the average inflation rate in 2014 was 1.77%. Not bad at all. We are in a nice sweet spot as compared to deflationary or atmospheric inflation. The cost of goods is rising at a moderate and regulated pace. The stimulus has succeeded for the majority of us. My investments are doing better than they have in the past, and I am seeing some significant returns. My money's future seems to be brighter. In addition, I have less savings than I have in the past, which is a positive thing because I have more money invested than I do in the past. I took the world's financial advice and discovered that cash is a pain. I don't say it in a joking manner. Since checking and savings accounts pay next to nothing, cash suffocates returns, even if you choose an online bank. Allowing cash to sit in those accounts means we tolerate a pittance and are subjected to inflation. Allow me to bring this together for you. The Federal Reserve's decision to offer easy capital to banks, which was likely passed on to customers, has helped us. Quantitative easing, meanwhile, has aided banks' recovery and willingness to lend. Investing is still fantastic right now. This confluence of events, on the other hand, has wreaked havoc on the most desperate of us. Investing is the advice for someone like me, who has some, but minimal, funds. Don't be a victim of the cash crunch. Unfortunately, the weakest of us do not profit from this financial advice. Many who receive erratic and/or uncertain paychecks in terms of volume and/or interval are unable to invest. They will put themselves at risk by investing their funds because they do not have enough liquidity. Furthermore, they will not be able to spend because they barely make ends meet at the end of each month. This is where the guidance of the rich and the poor diverges. Our financial commentators advise the rich to save, while the poor should save. It is possible that the poor's lives will be healthier if they saved more. Except, as you might have noticed if you've been following along, saving money does not imply protecting money. In 2014, the average savings account interest rate was 0.06%. The interest rate at Bank of America, Chase, PNC Bank, and Wells Fargo, all of the brick-and-mortar banks that poor people are more likely to use, is a dormant 0.01%. Assume you're Joe Poverty, and you're trying to save money. Mr. Poverty has turned on CNBC, Fox News, and CNN in order to get all the financial advice he can. He's fired up and leans in. He wants to live a happier life, follow a healthy diet, and put money aside for the future. He tries to pay off his daughter's student loans and feels bad for not being able to help her. His first step is to open a checking and savings account at a well-known bank in his neighborhood. He needs to be able to pay his bills and get paid, but he also wants to start saving. He will receive 0% and 0.01% from his checking and savings accounts, respectively. How rich people invest. Many of you are interested in learning more about how wealthy people spend their money. First and foremost, how much can you increase your net worth by strategically investing your money? Second, how do you decide where to put your money? Dan, what should I invest my money in? is one of the most popular questions I get. This is a question I am often asked by people who have saved a significant amount of money but are unsure where to spend it. Rich people are good people to ask about investing because they are always looking for something to invest in, so they are well versed in the topic. It's a safe assumption that wealthy people know where to put their money. If someone is wealthy, they are almost certainly good with money. Smart savings are a huge part of good money management. There is a lot of conflicting facts out there about how wealthy people spend. Many people advise you to put your money into the stock market, real estate, stocks, cryptocurrencies, or mutual funds. The list could go on forever. You want to assume that following the recommendations of experts on how wealthy people invest will pay off in the long run. You also want to believe that if you follow the wealthy's advice, you will become wealthy. After all, if the wealthy are wealthy, they must understand how to multiply their fortune. So, how do wealthy people put their money to work? What are some examples of high-return investments that pay off handsomely if done correctly? Today, I'll go through all of the above, including not only how wealthy people invest their capital, but also some investment examples. What you invest in is determined by a number of variables, including your net worth, the amount of money you're able to invest, personal interests, experience, comprehension, and strengths and weaknesses. It's important to remember that what works well for me might not work well for you. What is the reason for this? Since each person has a different level of understanding and expertise in some areas. Furthermore, we all have different tastes and passions. Not everybody, for example, is enthralled by real estate. Let's look at a few different approaches to deciding what to invest in. If you're curious about how wealthy people invest their money, know that they invest in things they understand. Never invest in a company you don't understand, Warren Buffett famously said. While Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have a great friendship, Buffett does not invest in technology companies or stocks. Buffett is one of the world's greatest businessmen, and he really invests in things he knows. I'm the same way, except I choose to put my money into stuff I understand. For example, I am not a cryptocurrency investor. That's not something I'm familiar with. Friends of mine have made a lot of money investing in cryptocurrency, with returns ranging between 5 to 20 times their initial investment. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.